So does anyone want to say anything? Talk about what happened?
Talk about what happened.
Anything you noticed while you were doing your artwork, or if you journaled any, if you want to share.
I do have one thing I want to share as far as my knowledge on fear. Because fear is just an emotion. If you look at it like that, you know that you're having a human emotion about anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I look at it. You look at it like that.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like.
It's just a human emotion. You're just reacting to something instead of just looking at it. You know.
Kind of get like a bird's eye view
It's
of
like,
the situation.
It's like meditation. It's like you try to quit thinking. Basically, you're just emptying yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do that, you realize that fear is just a human emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just reacting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's all. And you can take that with anything.
Mm-hmm. It's like it's important to like how you do deal with it, figure out what's causing it, and realize that you're reacting to a perceived fear. It doesn't necessarily even have to be real. But in pregnancy, left not dealt with, it can manifest itself in many ways. Does anyone have any insights they'd like to share? What do you know now that you didn't know before?
I feel like it's going to be a stronger because we have a partnership. We know it's what to expect from each other, and we know what we supposed to be for each other. I feel a bit more strong that we get together and doing it together.
So you realize that you're not necessarily by yourself, that you're with her and it's a partnership. Absolutely. Good job.
I remember I had an assistant who I'm a chemist, and he was doing this experiment, and it caught on fire. And the more I tried to fix it, it get bigger, the fire get bigger and bigger. Just took more stuff, got bigger and bigger. And he was like all panicky. And I just come down and just slow and then I just put it out, just calmly and put it out. And so I know that if you panic or react to just by being panicky, the situation gets worse. So just calmly reason it out.
Yeah.
And you can do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But most of the stuff that get worse when you don't stay calm and deal with the situation.
Absolutely, and being present and aware, like you said, definitely help a situation to be calmer. Absolutely. High five. Anyone else want to share?
Well, my fear is the outcome from hemorrhage, which would be losing her. Just said, and it wasn't my fear for the first time, but then after what I witnessed, it is. That was a tough visualization. It really was. And what I would have to go through in terms of what steps would need to be taken to avoid losing her, or what steps would have to be taken after losing her, and how to carry on for the children. So that was is pretty tough visualization for me to go through.
Well, I mean, I understand your fear, but I think that the statistic nowadays that women die in childbirth are too small.
That's pretty small. However,
I mean, it is.
It's really comforting.
Yeah.
Could happen.
I can take small comfort in that,
Yeah.
I guess.
Going through it afterwards, just how do you feel now? Kind of visualizing yourself coping. Does it feel differently? I'm holding like how, like in your body. I know sometimes when I'm fearful, I can kind of tense up and kind of like visualizing yourself coping. Does it feel any different, or did you not notice?
Really, not really. I mean,
Yeah, I can understand because like something that out of your control, anything that can't be fixed.
right.
How are you gonna cope? I guess I mean,
It was
I
really,
understand feeling.
yeah, it was really just, I mean, I guess, just going through the steps of a contingency plan and what would have to happen immediately following that eventuality.
Mm-hmm.
Just, just kind of, I wouldn't say it's calming, it's just thinking it through, knowing, okay, that's what you would have to do if this eventuality came to pass. So,
And most people should go there, and
Yeah.
know, what would I do with my children?
and I hadn't thought about that. So,
Definitely a good thing I think about. Probably make you feel better too, having thought about it, because we try to avoid thinking about stuff like that. Absolutely.
And that's what I was trying to say. You don't have to think about that kind of stuff. In fact, by you thinking about it, you can create it happen.
True. However, like in their case, it might be good for them to think, well, what would we, if something were to happen to you, what would we want to, what are your wishes, to talk about something like that and get it out in the open, and to not kind of put it under.
I'm saying get all that out in the open, but as far as to keep going over something like that in your mind, I don't see your point.
No, and I'm not talking about like rehearsing the fear. I'm kind of just, that's a scenario with yourself coping, instead of just focusing on that fear.
Well, get like your scenario down. Worst case scenario, if this happens, this is what we'll do.
Absolutely.
But after that, throw it out of your mind.
And that's what I'm hoping we're doing. What, coping.
I think, with mine, I like just went through the process like, okay, yeah, there's something wrong with my baby, and just kind of like accepting that if that was the case, and then
Still your baby.
I'm still gonna love the baby, whatever. I'm still gonna, I might cry and be sad for a minute, but I'm still gonna, love and take care of the baby, of course.
Absolutely.
And so, but then, like you said, now it's gone. You don't have to think
focus on that.
Right.
You don't.
Absolutely, and bringing your love to that moment. We're all going to have things come up in our labors and births, and it's kind of just a practice to cope and to be aware and to be present and to bring your love to that moment, your love to your baby, to your partner. Absolutely.
I think you guys will be brave facing through it once and going through it again. I think it's
Craziness.
yeah.
Must be worth it.
oh, it's definitely worth it. Yeah, every day.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else want to share? Question? This is something that you can do on your own if something comes up. It's a good way to work through your birth triggers, instead of just kind of ignoring it.